Hex. Video essays. How to be happy.
Welcome to my first YouTube video. My name is Hex, and I really appreciate you for clicking on it. Today's concept is going to be challenging myself to do something I never thought I could do, which is make this video. It's a bit of a stream of consciousness, and I did tear up at the end, so I hope you enjoy. My name is Hex. Many of you know me as Hex Girl Idol. I'm here today to just open dialogue, to begin talking as me, really me, not as the playful cartoon many of you know on several video hosting sites, right? And I'm wearing a bow today because I figured there's no time quite like the present, right? That and I needed help with lighting, so I made myself into a present. Happy birthday! If it is your birthday, happy birthday. If it's not your birthday, then too bad, it is now. What do I want to talk about? There's so many things I could shout into the void and talk about today. I could talk about how the morale is failing. I could talk about the state of economics. I could talk about how morality is evaporating. I could talk about how trust is eroding. I could talk about how there are no communities anymore. I could talk about my ambiguous maelstrom of a sense of self. But I won't be talking about any of that today. What I will be talking about is chronology. I just came up with that right now. I came up with it right on the spot. Yeah. I'm gonna talk chronologically about how I got here, where I am right now, what I do, who I am, who I believe I am, and maybe some things I've learned along the way. Right. So, as I've formerly said, I'm called Hex, and I'm a horror artist. I do VTubing on Twitch. I make lots of memes with voice acting. I'm featured in some animations. I've done work for a video game, and I recently joined a collective. I'm on a roster now to join more projects in the future, which I'm really looking forward to. So that's an intro about me. What else? What else about me? I love philosophy quite a lot. I think about it, I live it, I talk to others about it quite a lot. Some of you may know this, some of you may not. I try to make philosophy accessible to others in bite-sized forms. I sometimes bring this in text form, sometimes discussions in my Discord. Maybe I'll tweet something out that might stoke a philosophical discussion. Depends on what account it is, what side of the algorithm it is, what purpose it is, all that sorts of things. And as much as I wish I could just do the old algorithm way, which is posting something to my followers, my existing followers, that is not the way of the internet anymore. It's not this way anymore because of so many things changing. Politics, economics, especially profit motives. It's funny, we're less motivated to be socially driven, to have meaningful conversations with each other, despite the algorithm being allegedly to promote discussion. What that's done is incentivize slop responses. People have been calling them slop posts, slop responses, engagement bait, all this sorts of stuff. It's cheap. It's postured socialization. It's not real in a way that talking to someone like I'm talking to you is real. It feels like with the increase of avenues to become famous, there are an ever dwindling number of opportunities to walk a path that you deem authentic, meaningful, and intentional to yourself. And that brings me to where I am, where I literally am right now. I am in Greece. Yes, I moved to Greece. Some of you guys may already know this, but yes, I've moved to Greece. I've been here about a number of time. Maybe I won't disclose that publicly, but I've been here for a number of time now, and I'm happy. I can honestly say I'm happy. And the reason I'm happy is converse to the reasons I, sarcastically expressed being unhappy with the state of the internet, with the state of socialization, with society. I moved to Greece and I'm happy here. I can go outside, I'm safe. I can strike up conversation with people out in public. People are open, surprisingly open to meeting new people. Even a foreigner speaking their second language, they're willing to talk with me. They're willing to be curious about me, and not just superficial curiosity. They're open to having philosophical conversations with me, getting to understand the nuances of my personality, what I care about, what makes me want to live. This isn't just what's your sports affiliation, what's your political affiliation, what's your virtue signal of the week. No, this is who are you in this moment, right now, honestly. And I will also share with you who I am, and it means something. And this is something I have been searching for my entire life, something I never thought I would find, but something that I'm quite relieved to have found here. I'm by no means saying it's perfect, a paradise, a utopia, nothing like that, but when you've been through as much as I've been through, it comes as some relief to you to have a place to take a deep breath. Yeah, I would definitely phrase it like that. It's a place I've been able to take a deep breath. It's a place I've been able to refocus myself. It's a place I've been able to study, independent studies, professional studies, everything. It's a place I've been able to recalibrate who and what I am. All of these have come to me as great blessings and surprises. I didn't know what to expect when I first moved. I was initially motivated to move here due to chronic health conditions and the inability to afford ever-rising costs in the US. I am a freelancer, I earn my own money, I'm an independent contractor, and I do not get any support, any insurance, anything like that in America, which means it's all out of pocket, which means a procedure that would cost less than $500 or euros in Greece would cost me $5,000 to $7,000 in America, for example. It's a different world, and not even considering the, economic prosperity differences, and the average Greek may be able to come up with the money to afford what I pay out of pocket, not even considering that their government subsidizes part or most of their healthcare costs. So all I'm saying is things are a lot better for me here, and I've had a chance to reflect. And in that reflection, I've begun unraveling, I guess you could say. I've begun to unravel who I am, what I want to do, how I want to do it, and how I will go about doing it. But something that I've been quite confused about, honestly, is now that I've found this movement again, after years and years of being under the weight of pressures, pain, loss, isolation, stress, illness, financial stress, after being relieved of so much of that, I now find myself asking, what are my boundary lines? I don't mean that in a way of boundaries interpersonally. I mean, where do I start and where do I end? And it's quite a big question to be asking for my first YouTube video with my face attached, but this is where I'm at. I realized that the glass ceilings that I had, the self-limiting perceptions and behaviors and theatrics I would perform to maintain these beliefs of self-limiting conditions were indeed glass ceilings. I broke through them again and again and again. I lost 100 pounds. I've recovered from repeated hospitalizations of kidney illness and what began to be failure. I had liver damage from this. I was so sick, my metabolism wasn't functioning. I was over-medicated and effectively dying, both physically and spiritually. I was close to my end when I was in America. And now I'm in Greece, and life has indeed gotten much better. And now that it's better, I look back of everything I've ever known, everything I've ever faced, and I am really struggling to understand what to make of it. There are so many things I've had to, in the moment, adapt to and intellectualize on the spot. So many things that I just built impromptu structures within me to get it moving, to solve it in that moment. And now that I have space to breathe and the broader world around me still crumbles, I know less of what to do with more space than I did when I had less. It's as if I was operating off of primal impulses, and now I can really deeply use more of my cognitive capacity, more of my intellectual capacity, more of my emotions. And now that I have all of these tools available to me, I'm running the most basic program. I've built a super beefed up computer and I'm running Stardew Valley on it. And you may laugh at me, just like my programming mentor laughed at me years ago when I did that exact thing. I will take a pause now. There's background noise. Right then, where were we? Ah, yes. Who and what am I, and what are those confines like? Where are my bounds? Where is out of bounds? That's something I've had to accept. The fact that limits are in your head. Like actually, like certainly there are limits. You cannot literally fly with your own physical body. However, there are much less limits if you have the adaptability and the drive to make it happen. And that is something that I try to remind myself every day, but it's something I find myself crushed underneath, the potential. I find myself paralyzed by the potential. And if I'm being honest with you, making a video like this is something that I just wrote myself off from. I told myself that I couldn't do it. I wasn't the right person to do it. I don't have the personality, the confidence, whatever, right? I'm an entertainer, I'm a performer, but do I have what it takes to be here, right here, and pour my heart out to you? I guess I'm answering that question right now, aren't I? Before I started this video, I felt worse than a lacking of self-confidence. I felt quite self-negative. I felt inadequacy. I think I'm categorically so different that I'm just not right or something. And I teared up a little, but what I intend to say is I'd like to prove myself wrong. Just like I've proven myself wrong so many times, by surviving, by never giving up, by reaching new heights. So that's what this video is. It's my first video expressing that I'm not giving up, and I'm challenging myself. I'm challenging my own conceptions of what I think is possible of me. Even when it's terrifying, even when it's scary, and I know that practice is the only thing that fortifies any skill. And so I look forward to developing any and all skills I can. I look forward to practicing more what I preach. I look forward to becoming the type of person that deserves the respect of my friends and my loved ones. Thank you for watching today. I was not expecting to get emotional, but apparently that's what happens when you're vulnerable. So, thanks, Internet. Have a great day, and I challenge you too to do something that you thought you could never do. Peace.
Hello, YouTubes. This is Post-Editing Hex. I just wanted to say thank you so very much for watching this video. It's definitely a moment of vulnerability for me, and I think it's a precedent that I want to set. Going forward with my content, it's always been my vision, and I've always really tried to push myself, but I honestly think this long-form stream of consciousness style is a really, really good way to start challenging myself even more than I ever have. So thank you so much for taking the time to watch it, and I hope anything at all resonated with you, and if it did, tell me. Please, seriously, type a comment, I'll read every one of them. And I truly wish you a wonderful day, and I really hope you take me up on the challenge to try something new that you thought that you could never do. And do not judge me for editing with my knees up. Comfy, okay?